Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a filing from PLBY Group, the company behind PLBY. And no, we're not looking at any pictures, we're checking out how they're paying their top executives. Let's see if these payments are a stroke of genius or just plain bunny business. This report is about how PLBY Group is trying to keep its top executives happy. They're giving them special deals called retention agreements to encourage them to stay with the company. These deals involve stock and potential cash payments, so it's important to understand what's going on. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss this filing and more. This filing discusses retention agreements with PLBY Group's top executives. These agreements aim to keep key people like the Chief Executive Officer, Chief Financial Officer, and General Counsel on board. The company wants to reward them for their hard work and ensure they don't jump ship. The reason for these agreements is that the company recognizes the executives' contributions and wants to incentivize them to remain employed. It also manages the company's equity, which is the stock available for grants under their 2021 equity and incentive compensation plan. So basically, they are trying to keep the executives happy without overusing the company's stock. The executives involved are Ben Cohn, who is the Chief Executive Officer, and President Mark Crossman, the Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer, and Chris Riley, who is the General Counsel and Secretary. These people are important to the company's operations and strategy. These executives were already granted restricted stock units or RSUs, which are like promises of stock that vest or become fully owned after a certain time. Cohn received 1,000 shares, while Crossman and Riley each got 350,000 shares back in May. These RSUs become fully vested in April of the next year, giving the executives a reason to stick around. Looking ahead, the company plans to issue more RSUs to these executives in 2026, again with Cohn getting 1,000 shares and Crossman and Riley each receiving 350,000 shares. These future RSUs will vest the following year. However, these future grants are not guaranteed. They depend on the Compensation Committee's approval. Here's where it gets interesting. The agreement states that under certain circumstances, these future RSU grants might not actually be stock grants. Instead, they could be converted into a cash payment. This provides flexibility for the company and the executives. The specific details are set out in the retention agreements. There's a catch. If any of the executives resign or are terminated for cause, meaning they did something wrong before the RSU grants are issued, they won't get the RSUs or any cash payment related to them. This is a standard protection for the company to ensure the executives are committed and well behaved. If you want to dive into the specific details, you can check out the form of retention agreement, which is included as an exhibit in this filing. It lays out all the terms and conditions in full. So what does all this mean? PLBY Group is using a combination of stock and potential cash payments to keep its top executives in place. It shows they value their leadership and want to maintain stability. However, the reliance on future approvals and potential cash payouts introduces some uncertainty. From an outside perspective, it seems like a pretty standard move to retain executives. But it also raises some questions. Is the company doing this because they are concerned about losing these executives? Are they trying to manage costs by potentially paying in cash instead of stock? Overall, this filing gives us a peek into how PLBY Group is managing its executive compensation. It's not exactly a bombshell, but it's worth knowing if you're following the company. It seems like they are doing everything that they can to keep the executives with them, but it remains to be seen if this is a good or bad move. Alright, that's our breakdown of PLBY Group's executive retention agreements. What's your take on these agreements and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.